10 before the end. This is a trend on BookTube to look at the books we want to read before the end of the year. These are not the ones we're committed to from other reading projects. These are just 10 that we've been meaning to get to at some time. I saw this idea on Angelia's channel at Read and Reread, so here are my 10. My name is Jim. This is my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. First, we've got the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie. If you know this channel, you know I like the alphabet. I did a series of tags with different letters of the alphabet, A tag, B tag, etc. I read Agatha Christie last month in memory of Alice, who sadly passed. I read The Murder on the Orient Express, which also had Hercule Poirot. Here, Hercule Poirot is trying to solve a series of murders which are connected alphabetically. The first murder is of Mrs. Asher in Andover, and then it's Betty Barnard in Bexhill. So there's this alphabetic progression. And he has these wonderful moustaches. Then some of my books are physical, some are on Kindle. Next is on Kindle is Weyward by Emilia Hart. I loved the cover of this. This won the Goodreads Choice Award last year for historical fiction. It looks at 3 women in 3 different time periods, one in our own period, one in the World War II period, and one in the early 17th century, a woman who was being tried as a witch, hence the title Weyward. Then Hemingway. I've only read one Hemingway, which was The Old Man and the Sea, which is a small book, but it felt really long and was rather tedious. I didn't get on with it very well. But he's this ultimate dude bro, and I want to give him another chance. This is The Sun Also Rises. This copy is one of the knockoff copies made cheaply here in Georgia. You've got the Georgian writing here. It's printed cheaply, but it's the full text. Then Road to Nowhere by Braylee Parkinson. This was a book I got free for Kindle. It's about a guy who has wanderlust, who goes off naively, and when he stops answering his messages, his friend gets worried for him and starts investigating. It's a murder mystery. Again, I like the cover, I like the title, and I don't know much more about that. If you know about these books, if you've read any of these books, let me know in the comments. If there's ones you'd advise me to start with, let me know. Then The Big Green Tent. Cynthia gave this to me at the Tbilisi book swap. Ludmila Ulitskaya is a best-selling Russian writer, and this is about Soviet dissidents in the 1950s. Should be interesting. Then Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I like what I've read by Barbara Kingsolver. I read The Lacuna, which was about Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo, Leon Trotsky, and some various other characters. And I also read the Poisonwood Bible. Demon Copperhead has won the Pulitzer Prize, or shared the Pulitzer Prize. It's loosely based on David Copperfield, the DC, but I don't know much else about it, but a lot of people have been raving about it. Then a contemporary romance. Contemporary romance I didn't think was my jam at all, but I read Not in My Book by Katie Holt. I made a video about that. I'll link that here. And I really enjoyed it, which surprised me. This has a similar premise where there's 2 authors. One's a romance author and the other one isn't, and they're taking jabs at each other. I don't know much more about this. I know Emily Henry, along with Colleen Hoover, are the queens of contemporary romance at the moment. They outsell all the other contemporary romance authors by several thousands. And Chronicles of the Undead by A.F. Stewart. A.F. Stewart is a booktuber. This is a supernatural horror for the spooky season about vampires in 18th century London. I know A.F. Stewart from her comments on Margaret Pina's live streams. Then Burning Bright by Tracy Chevalier. I enjoyed Remarkable Creatures by Tracy Chevalier, which was set amongst fossil hunters in the 19th century in England. This is set at the end of the 18th century in London, and judging by the cover, I think it's got some circus vibe. I like that. I enjoyed Night Circus, and I like Tracy Chevalier's writing. And finally, Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a fantasy book, first of a duology. I'm not sure how I feel about duology. I like books which can stand alone. I don't want to be compelled to get Crooked Kingdom, the second book in the duology, but this is one of the reasons I've stayed away from fantasy for a long time, because I don't like being committed to any series. But I like Leigh Bardugo's writing. I read The Ninth House, which I really enjoyed. So those are my 10 before the end. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know which one I should start with or any I should avoid. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you on the next video.